All right, so today we're going to talk about 6 marketing trends for this year, the rest of this year, and beyond. And well, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So number 1 is Cameo for business. So Cameo is actually a site where you can go to actually hire celebrities. So like Brett Favre, you can hire Mr. Wonderful, so Kevin O'Leary. You can hire them to do videos for you. But historically, the issue with Cameo was that you couldn't have these celebrities make ads for you. And a lot of businesses were looking for ads to be created, right? A lot of people would go to the former Green Bay Packers quarterback, Brett Favre, and ask him. A lot of car dealerships would go to him because a lot of people know him in the Wisconsin area, right? And he wasn't able to fulfill that. But now Cameo actually has a business program that you can use. So I'd highly recommend checking that out, because at the end of the day, what really matters is creative, and you have to have good creative to have a lower CPA or lower cost per acquisition. Okay. Number 2 is podcast advertising. So podcast advertising is continuing to get bigger and bigger. And I actually talked to a podcast advertising company yesterday, and I asked them, hey, in the midst of this kind of slowdown right now, are you guys seeing any dip, any drop off? And they're like, no, podcast advertising is remarkably robust. Spotify has spent a ton of money on podcast advertising. They've invested into the future, and they're starting to generate revenue from podcast advertising. And the listenership is still continuing to grow year on year. If you look at the Edison Infinite Dial report, that's something I highly recommend reading. But I do podcasts. I mean, that's why I have this mic over here, and it's been really good for us in terms of growing from a brand awareness standpoint. So that's what it is. And number 3 would be LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is now owned by Microsoft, and their organic reach is super strong. Like, I've done some posts in the last 12 months or so where it's a very simple post. And, we got some people to engage with it, and, 200,000 people will view it, right? Sometimes 10,000, 20,000, 200,000, but that's free reach. You just have to put in the work. Like, you put in the work and you're getting that amount of reach right now. It's these social channels, the way it works is that they'll really pump up whatever they're trying to, whatever feature that they're trying to promote at the moment. And LinkedIn is a really good opportunity. And a lot of people have built their businesses off of, especially B2B, off of LinkedIn. And I'm trying to actually amp up my content output on LinkedIn. So don't sleep on LinkedIn, especially if you're a B2B and if you're trying to grow, a type of brand in the world of business. Number 4. In a similar vein, I think this will probably last for another year or two, depending if the U.S. Bans TikTok as an app, because that's kind of the conversation that's going on right now. But TikTok is interesting because it's very contextual, right? It's they understand what you tend to watch, they understand what's going on with your mind, and they're going to continue to show you more content, and that's how you get addicted to it, right? And that's why TikTok is continuing to skyrocket in terms of its growth and also advertising growth as well. And organic reach is very strong there. And if you have the time, if you don't have any channels in the very beginning and you're trying to do, especially B2C, or D2C, I should say, what you should try to do is maybe you do a couple TikToks a day, right? Really focusing on, pumping out 3 to 4 a day consistently, and then looking at the next 30 days and seeing what your performance is. Similar for LinkedIn as well. And then number 5 would be newsletter ads. So obviously ad costs are continuing to go up, right? When you think about Facebook, you think about the iOS 14 updates. Facebook ads have gotten harder. Google's gotten harder, but they're adjusting as advertising platforms, but it's just not as easy as it was before, right? Ad costs have gone up significantly. So what that means is you have to be creative as a marketer and using newsletter ads. So let's say you're trying to sponsor your crypto company. There are a lot of crypto newsletters out there that have 100,000, 150,000 really engaged readers, and the open rates are really high. And that to me is just a form of influencer marketing, right? People know, like, and trust like a specific brand. They trust a specific newsletter, and they're more likely to trust that versus maybe like a random channel that's out there, right? And not to say that Facebook and Google won't be effective longer term. I think the effectiveness will just continue to slowly wane because it's an auction-based platform. Whereas you can negotiate deals directly for these newsletter ads. You can always use tools like buysellads.com. There are a handful of newsletter kind of aggregators out there that you can use, or you can just go to newsletters that you like directly and then talk to people and ask them what they're actually reading and what they're consuming, and just get in front of them that way. It's worth testing this stuff. And I want to emphasize too, like I'm mentioning a lot of trends right now, and I'm not saying you should do every single thing. What you should consider is maybe running a couple of experiments and just understanding that maybe every 1 in 12 experiments are actually going to work, and that's what it is, and you should be satisfied with that. The sixth one, this is kind of a multi-pronged one, but it's more so talking about Web3 marketing, so Web3 marketing trends. And let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on that afterwards, and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy this, by the way. And so on the Web3 marketing side, what really works is really PR/influencer, and what that means to me is placements on YouTube. That means placements on doing a YouTube interview, right, or doing a podcast interview, or getting a placement on like a Cointelegraph.com, or doing a Twitter Spaces, or doing like a Discord AMA, right? Marketing 101 is just paying attention to where the people are actually hanging out, and then having a tasteful offer for them, getting in front of them, having a tasteful offer, an irresistible offer, and that's going to be high converting, and that's what's going to get people to come into your world, and hopefully you get to convert them down the line, and just continue to optimize your funnel and continue to optimize conversions, and that's what the game is, right? But marketing 101, a lot of these trends that I'm mentioning, a lot of these potential channels, they might not necessarily be a fit for you depending on the business that you're in, so it's really important to do that research ahead of time, and just pay attention to what makes sense for you. So that is it for today. Let me know what you think, what trends you're excited about. Let me drop them in the comments below. I'm interested to hear from you. And that is it for today. And don't forget to check out the next video over there, and we'll catch you later.